liberty and equality hollow mockery. Your sermons and thanksgivings with all your religious parade and solemnity are to him bare bombast, fraud, deception, impiety, and hypocrisy.
A thin veil to cover up crimes which would disgrace a nation of savages. There is not a nation on the earth guilty of practices more shocking and bloody than are the people of the United States at this very hour.
Frederick Douglass, 1852.
Visit www.prisonradio.org to listen to all of Mumia Abu-Jamal's commentaries.
One is amazed and even astonished to consider those millions who today claim spiritual lineage from a being called Christ.
For a decade, Mumia's voice was silent, a journalist trapped in solitary confinement, his melodic, silky baritone gone way too soon. But in July of 1992, prison radio producer Noel Hanrahan traveled to rural Pennsylvania to record the death row prisoner. These were to be his first radio broadcasts since he was shot and arrested. For a few hours, Mumia was back in a funky old recording studio. Even the thick plexiglass separating talent from engineer was the same. The difference? Heavily armed guards and tightly shackled wrists. But it was hard to tell that they were recording in a hell on earth, with the reporter sentenced to die.
For if one were from outer space and able to view life on this planet for a century or so, one might observe this.
The first time I heard Mumia's words, I was kind of struck. It took me back. I was like, wait, who is this?
Christians are the wealthiest humans on a third planet. They seem to be the most violent humanoids, having brought about 2 world wars, tens of thousands of murders, and millions of rapes, assaults, and lynchings.
I can't bear to listen to people who sound funny. And so if I had detected any hint of phoniness in his voice, I would not have listened to him at all.
They are the only group to have dropped an atomic bomb on other non-Christian people, to have colonized and enslaved whole races of other humans, and to have committed genocide on an unsurpassed scale. American Indians, Jews, for example.
I'm particularly struck by Mumia's ability to work what it calls short-form radio. The fact that he has to research them from a prison cell, where he's allowed very restricted access to research materials, the fact that he has to put them together with no editorial support, and then the fact that he has to produce them generally in one take. I mean, all these are working circumstances that I don't think most professional journalists or commentators would be able to function under.
Transitions on Traditions at listener-supported radio KPFA. This is Greg Bridges in your ears. He is a studied and noted journalist who has community roots. He speaks truth with logic. I think that frightens government because so many people are listening to Mumia.
What's up, fam? You're tuned to Hard Knock Radio here on listener-sponsored radio station KPFA in Berkeley, California. Up next on the program, political prisoner and commentator Mumia Abu-Jamal on Mad in the Middle East. When you think about hip-hop culture being in your face, Mumia is in your face, whether you want to hear it or not. Many times you have young hip-hop artists that are saying what no one wants them to say. We're the ear to the streets, right? Mumia is that for so many different people and individuals.
I've worked in juvenile lockdown facilities and adult prisons, leading writing workshops and poetry workshops. There's a handful of writers that seem to really, really resonate. For some reason, tends to be Mumia, Tupac, and Bob Dylan. I don't know what that triumvirate of evil or good is about.
We're rolling. Justice means if the jury finds him guilty, then that's justice to me. That's the way we do things in America, right?
I say take him out, put him in a regular population. Maybe somebody out there do the job for us and we don't have to worry about this nonsense.
I'm glad to be credited for creating the term Mumidians. They hate America, and they use him as a symbol and a focus of their hate.
It's a big thing in Philly, okay? I think too many people like the Beastie Boys and stuff like that are trying to make it their own cause.
And Mumia becomes a handy symbol for them to use against the system that they believe is racist and colonial and homophobic and military and capitalist and everything else that they despise.
So why all the people in Hollywood and stuff are so into it, I just can't understand. Can't even fathom.
He's articulate. He's good looking. I have to ask myself if he would have quite so much support if he were ugly and inarticulate.
Paul Newman, who I liked, I stopped watching his film after a while because he came in defense of Mumia. They had no clue about it.
The overwhelming majority of Philadelphians believe he is guilty, and they're just tired of it.
I don't know that much.
We want to know your opinion on Mumia Abu-Jamal.
Who?
Have you ever heard of him before?
No.
Okay, great. All right. Well, thank you for your time. Thanks a lot.
I've never read any of his books. I didn't feel any need to because I understand they are diatribes mostly, or they're propaganda.
We live within the shadow of Columbus today, which means there has been over 500 years of manifest destiny, meaning white supremacy over all non-white life.
Any form of art is a form of power. It has impact. It can affect change. Ozzie Davis.
Es indignante saber que hay más periodistas muertos en México que en Irak.
Moved by the struggle of Mumia Abu-Jamal, young Mexican artists Ricardo Samaniego Mendoza and Elena Moguel Samaniego created this installation entitled The Corridor of the Silenced Ones, or El Corredor de los Silenciados.
Mumia, como periodista y como escritor, es importante no solo por su trabajo previo a la prisión, sino por lo que ha hecho estando ahí y la manera en la que ha